without works is dead. I don't wanna die so soon. I got moves to make instead. I ain't scared, I'm prepared. Big ideas inside my head. I'm gonna make them manifest, and I'm dressed for success. I left, right, order my steps. Network, I ain't gotta do it by myself. Who you know, show me who you know. Better let them know we bout to blow. It's time to go, go, go. I'm attracting, no accidents, that's fate. Just go in and have a little faith. Faith without works is dead. I don't wanna die so soon. I got moves to make instead. I ain't scared, I'm prepared. Big ideas inside my head. I'm gonna make them manifest, and I'm dressed for success. I left, right, order my steps. Network, I ain't gotta do it by myself. Who you know, show me who you know. Let them know we about to blow. It's time to go, go, go. Go to work, get to work, yeah. Go to work, yeah. Go to work, get to work, yeah. Go to work, yeah. I ain't trying to trade my time, yeah. Simply wanna show you what I'm worth, yeah. Daily I'ma stay on my grind. Have a little faith and go to work. Go to work. Yeah. Go to work. Go to work. Yeah. Okay. Now go nuts. Go nuts.
Hey there, I'm Trevor Houston, the creator of the Who You Know Summit, and I'd like to welcome you to the Who You Know Job Networking Show.
On our program, we'd like to show you the job search like you've never seen.
Everything from getting noticed by employers, how to properly format your resume, and how to network effectively using LinkedIn to drive recruiters to your profile.
We even take suggestions from our amazing community.
So if you want to learn all things job search, go ahead and subscribe now.
Focus! It's all about the job search. So if you want to learn how to land that next success, you heard them. All you got to do is subscribe and ring that bell so you don't miss out on a thing. Well, welcome to the Who You Know Job Networking Show, where what you know is important, but
who you know?
Who you know can make all the difference in your job search. Guys, I'm super excited, but as you can see, I had to make Mark and Foster disappear today. Actually, keep them in your prayers because there's some things going on, right? So Mark actually has, he's got the vid, all right? He's okay. He is all right. A lot of people are asking, but make sure you keep him in your prayers. Mark has COVID, all right? Foster's dealing with some dental work. They're drilling on him today, just getting in there. So definitely keep him in your prayers. And Holly's actually out sick today as well. She's got strep throat. So the whole Who You Know team has been like obliterated, but so you're stuck with me today, all right? And we also have our very, very special guest today. We've got Casey Hasten, Director of Executive Recruiting. We're excited to have you. And we also have Bruce Pulver, excited to have you. He is a global TEDx speaker and author. So I'm really, really pumped that you guys are here with us today.
Thank you for having us again.
Great to be here.
Absolutely. But before we dive into all this fun stuff, because I promise you some motivation, education, inspiration, but before we get there, I want to see who we have online with us, who's our audience. Let's give some shout outs and some check-ins. I see Meg Rose, she's our hype lady. Paul Haggerty, Hope Mangita. Let's see who else we got. Kat O'Toole. Hey, Kat, I want to tell you something. So I saw your message. You said, I tried to pair my channels. But it didn't connect. I got an error message. That error message is because you need to first go apply for LinkedIn Live. So make sure you go do that. LinkedIn Live right now, they are approving just about everybody right now. So as before, there were some barriers, right? But now they're just kind of green lighting it and approving everyone. So Kat, make sure you do that. So next show, you can actually help us to pair. We would appreciate that. I see Mark Elder in the chat. Mark, how you feeling, man? You doing all right? You doing good? He says, no severe issues. Well, thank God for that. Lena Stutz, shout out to Lena. So she actually is pairing her channel right now. It is streaming live to her channels on LinkedIn and Facebook and all that. So we appreciate you. Leon Myers, good to see you. So right now, if you could, rep your city, rep your hood. Let us know where you're tuning in from. We'd love to give you a shout out. If it's your first time, let us know. Put hashtag first time down there in the chat. If you are searching for a job, I want to know what you're searching for. So you can put hashtag IT, project management, accounting and finance, operations, whatever it is that you do, tell us in the chat, because we do have an audience of recruiters and hiring managers who tune in from time to time, and we've had people land jobs simply from their hashtag getting the conversation started. So make sure you do that. And we also give out awards, okay? We give out awards on this show for our top engagers. So if I could get a drum roll, we got 3 people. I want to go ahead. You need to do the drum roll?
I'll do backup.
All right. So in third place from our last episode, Lena Stutz. Congratulations, Lena Stutz in third place. Lena, I need you stepping it up today. I want you first place next episode, okay?
Second place.
In second place, we got Mike Mediterranean.
Woo!
Mike Mediterranean, always with 17 comments. And in first place, we've got Paul Haggerty. Congratulations, Paul. So guys, what we like to do is for the month, whoever's in first place for the month for our engagement, you're going to get one of these super cool Who You Know ice shakers. We're going to send you one of those. Trust me, you are you're going to want one. The water just tastes better out of these, I promise. So you're going to want one of these. We'll send you that. For the top engager of the quarter, we actually want to give you a seat at the table, right? Because you're showing so much love to us, we want to show some love back. So we're going to invite you on the show, give you a seat at the table, blow you up. We'll give you our promo packages and really shine some light into what you got going on, whatever that is. So make sure you get in the chat right now. We'd appreciate that. All right, so we got a lot of people in the chat, and we want to go ahead and bless this show with a prayer for the listeners. So if everybody can bow your heads with me. Dear Lord, thank you so much for this amazing day. I ask that you be with the Who You Know team, with Mark, with Foster, with Holly. I ask that you do your healing power, right? You got that healing power, so make sure you go ahead and do that with them so that they can make the impact that they're making out there in the community. They can keep serving. All these things in your name, in the mighty name of Jesus. Amen.
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 All right, we got a lot to be thankful for, a lot to be grateful for. We've got some landings. We got a ton of landings, actually. We had 17 people.
Wow.
That is amazing.
Awesome.
17. They're back to their cash flow. So I'm excited to announce, I don't know if we got time to do all 17, but I'm going to rattle off, and if we can get our money guns ready, let's get these money guns, because all of these folks are back to their cash flow.
Yes.
So on LinkedIn, I want you to put your celebration hands, go ahead and clap your hands on LinkedIn, and I want you to put your donut emojis and some cash flow for Clint Pertel. Clint Pertel. We got Kelly Stone, Erica Ramos, John West, Rhonda Presley, there's Frencha.
I'm out.
We're out. Oh man,
That went
we
so
got-
fast.
I know, we got so much cash. We got Zach McLean, Colby Mowry, Megan Cole, Chris Hardy, Rob Melton, Winston Ball, Patrick McKeeby, Jordan Blanks, Mary Denicchio, Debbie Rose, Joe Benavides. That's a lot of cash flow.
That's a lot of cash flow. That's amazing.
Wow. Like, let's just say, I want to point this out real quick. Let's say each one of those folks, let's round an even number at $100,000 salary.
Wow.
That's $1.7 million.
Wow, 2 commas.
Back in the economy, back in the workforce, back in the homes, back on your plate, food on the table, right?
I have a question
Yeah.
that I would like to ask of these 17 people if they're on that have landed, and that is, what made you choose this job? Because I just did a whole talk about it's not just about salary anymore. So I'd love to know what was your motivating factor for accepting your new role.
Absolutely. Yeah, tell us if you're tuning in, tell us in the chat. And also, for those of you that are in the chat right now, these are people, all these shout outs that we just gave for all these landings, you need to go connect with them, okay, on LinkedIn, say congratulations, and then ask them how they did it, okay? Because success leaves clues.
Yes.
And if you find out how they did it, that could help you do it as well, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and they probably have a connection. They know the internal recruiters. They know the hiring manager. They just went through the process.
That's
They
right.
just landed. So I'm just saying they could introduce you if you do it right. So just get their insight, right?
Another question. Same industry,
Right.
same gig. Did you reinvent yourself?
Yeah.
What did it take to do that? You know, what kind of things did you, besides the interview, besides the resume, besides all the tactical, how
Yeah.
did you think about it differently?
Yeah, absolutely. It's about asking the right questions and getting the insight from these folks. It's informational interviewing, networking, connecting. It's all about who you know. And, you know, listen, all the studies say that networking is what typically, right? You see it,
I see it every day.
right? You see it.
One of my favorite questions to ask on my podcast is, the first question I ask is, how did we get connected? Because I want people to draw the lines and, you know, build out that spider web, because it may not be like, now that I've met you, it may not be that there is something for you and I to do, but it may be the next person you introduce me to, or vice versa.
Yeah.
So
what led it to that next step? Because a lot of things we talk about is the give before the get. Helps that networking step go.
Woo! Mic drop.
Ooh.
We haven't even got started yet. Woo-wee, I like
We'll
that.
talk about that because, you know, there's something there. I think
Yeah.
there is a there.
There is a there there. There is a there there. Let me also, I'm going to give you the tip of the week, and this leads into our conversation of networking and connecting and the give before you get, okay? So one of the strategies we teach in our summit is to, in order to get the conversation with the recruiter,
Yep.
is to engage on their content before you go at their inbox. Okay, so give before you get, right? So go to their all activity section, and that will tell you if they're active, right? If they're posting content and if they're doing, you know, stuff on LinkedIn, if they're posting jobs, stuff like that, you're going to be able to see it. Now, there's actually a new feature that is really, really neat, okay? And it is the notification bell. Okay, so the notification bell, you need to go to their profile, click that notification bell, turn it on. You'll get notified every single time they do a post. Okay, and now you want to be the first comment. You want to leave the first engaging comment. When we teach a strategy on how to do that with video, so it really stands out, gets their attention, and causes them to react and have a conversation with you. But it's the giving before you get.
Right.
Right.
Absolutely.
And so turn that notification bell. Go start following people on LinkedIn at the target companies you want to work for, the recruiters, the hiring managers that work there, and start ringing their bell, okay? Because every time they post something, you're going to get to know about it. And that also tells you when they're live. That tells you when they're active on LinkedIn. So you get that notification, jump on it.
Yeah.
Send them a message. Send them a connect.
Yeah.
Send them a comment.
I think you got to go deep too. What is it about that post?
Yeah.
That it connected with me because of, or I read this article. Thank you. And by the way, a friend of mine was looking for that. I shared it with them.
Absolutely.
Some way that you're actually distributing and you're participating in the community.
100%. You're saying, hey, I loved your post where you were talking about X, Y, and Z, and it really. I'll give you an example. I'm going to give you a perfect example. So Gary V, right? You guys know Gary V. Would you say he's probably a pretty tough person to get a hold of?
Very much so.
All right. So I did the same strategy with him. I was like, hey, let me go to his profile, ring his bell, right? So now I get notified as soon as that post goes live, I know about it. So now I get those notifications, and now I can be the first comment. And if you're the first comment, you're the most and if you're the most impactful one, it will keep you as top comment. So you'll remain at the top. So 2 days ago, now I'm his top comment right now, and it's creating a bunch of other ancillary opportunities because other people are seeing it. But you know how I did it? I did it by using a video with his name on it. And so everybody's watching this video and they're like, oh my gosh, wow, that, because they're doing black and white text comments, and I got a video popping out. I'm standing out, right?
Right.
And I gave him a compliment. I made it relatable. And so we'll see what happens from that, but it's just a different way of doing it.
Yeah.
Give before you get.
Right. The only time get should come before give, the dictionary.
I like that.
Word guy.
All right, I have another tip real quick. I don't mean to go too deep in LinkedIn, but there's some new features, guys, that are coming out, and it's really cool. LinkedIn's switching up, guys. They're changing the game up. So there's a new feature, LinkedIn Audio Rooms. Okay, I've been talking about Clubhouse. You've been hearing me for the last year saying, Clubhouse, Clubhouse, Clubhouse. It's networking on steroids. Well, guess what? LinkedIn Audio Rooms are here, okay? It's still beta. Not everybody has access, but I'm putting together a group. I'm putting together some things that we're going to be doing specifically for the job seeker community. And you need to get out of your comfort zone. You need to get on stage. You need to start speaking about what you do, the value you add, and the problems you solve for a company. And the more you're doing that, and the more people are hearing that, I promise good things will happen. But if, there's that old saying, a closed mouth does not get fed. Okay? So you need to get out there, start opening your mouth, start talking about the problems you solve, the companies you want to go work for. And hey, by the way, if you know anybody, connect me, right? That's your call to action. Your call to action is, hey, if you know anybody, connect me, all right? So audio rooms are coming. I'm excited about that. And let's see what else. Oh, make sure you go start a newsletter as well. That's my last tip is start a newsletter. We're seeing massive growth opportunities from these newsletters because it's also beta. And anytime there's a new feature with LinkedIn, they reward the people that use them, right? So if you want visibility right now, check out audio rooms, newsletters, and make sure you start using that notification bell. All right, so those are the three. Guys, we got to go to a real quick break, but don't go anywhere because when we come back, I promise you some mic drops. We got Casey Hasten in the house.
Looking to get your real estate license. It's a very low cost entry, $300 to take your real estate course online. Inexpensive compared to like a college. EXP is $150 to join and it's like $84 a month. So relatively speaking, these are very inexpensive costs. If you are interested in that and you want to work with me as a realtor, I'd love to have you join my team and you want to hear about the model, then go to join10xempire.com and I do this opportunity call every Tuesday. Would love to answer your questions and tell you more about what I'm doing. If anyone out there is interested in working with me.
just landed a position with one of my target companies, and as someone who has not been in the role of a job seeker for many years, I was not at all familiar with the process. I'm most grateful for your compassion and encouragement, and of course, sense of humor during these crazy times. So thanks so much for all that you do, and good luck to everyone.
So I'd like to thank the entire Who You Know team, the blessed trinity of job seeking, Trevor, Foster, Mark, as well as Hope and Holly and all the others who do so much behind the scenes. It is greatly appreciated, and I thank you all.
I'm here to take a moment to let you know how blessed my life has been since I met the Who You Know group. This networking concept is just fundamental for helping so many people.
Welcome back to the Who You Know Job Networking Show, where what you know is important, but who you know? Who you know can make all the difference in your job search. Guys, I'm super excited. Let me tell you who I know. I know this lady, Casey Hasten, and Casey's a top executive recruiter and host of the We Are VIP podcast, who spent over 20 years in the accounting space before finding her passion helping others find their dream jobs. Today, Casey specializes in hiring practices and helping companies of all sizes learn to hire the right person the first time. Everybody, please warm welcome for Casey. Let's go.
Thanks for having me back. I love it.
I just love it too. Me and you are so cool. So Casey has a show here too, the We Are VIP podcast at this studio, and so we get to see each other every Wednesday.
Yep. Just for a minute. It's like ships passing in the night. So I kind of come in here, and then y'all come and make faces at me while I'm recording.
Yeah, we try to. She'll be in the studio, and we'll be like, come against the glass, and we're like, like we do this. So I'm curious, actually. First question: who do you have today? Who's your guest?
Today, I have a very interesting person. I am interviewing. Lori Nugent, sorry, just like so many, you know, and she is talking about cybersecurity. So we have two different avenues that we talk about. We talk to the job seeker, like you do, about, you know, how to find that next best job, how to find your passion. A lot about mindset, Bruce. So, you know, that's where I think you're going to come in. But we also talk to the companies about building that better culture so that you can keep your good talent once you find them. It's critical right now. Would you agree with that?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, culture is very important. Like we were talking in the first segment, we were talking about money's not always the reason.
Yep.
All right. What do you think is that number one reason? You asked the question, what do you think the number one reason is that people either sign on to a company or leave a company? And is it the same? Is signing on the same as when people say, you know what, I'm out?
It depends. So things have really changed over the course of the pandemic. I mean, it has been such a shift. I've never seen anything like this in my entire recruiting career. And one of the things that I am seeing is that as people were reflecting and having that time at home, that they've really reorganize their priorities, and they're no longer willing to stick it out in a toxic environment or in, you know, grinding out 80 to 100 hours a week. And yes, I do have companies that do that, and especially in accounting. So they're just not willing to do that anymore. So probably the number one now, and I'm talking to candidates every single day. That's what I do. I talk to candidates to get them hired with companies, right? And first question I get is, are they remote or at least hybrid?
Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah.
And I just read a study the other day that I believe it was 60% of workers that were polled in this survey said that if their company forced them to go back into the office, they would quit.
Wow. It just goes to talk about, you know, a lot of people say life-work balance. I think it's rhythm and tempo. It's about I'm the same person in the four walls of my house that I am in the four walls of the building.
Absolutely.
Yeah? And that matters more because there's less of a divide.
Yeah.
Well, I would like to speak to this conversation too about the remote. So I think that flexibility, hybrid, I think is ultimately the solution, because I will say this, just because someone wants remote work, of course they want that, right? I want remote work. Doesn't mean it's the best thing for them.
I don't disagree with that at all.
It doesn't mean that will reflect their best productivity. It doesn't mean that that's where they're going to be the happiest.
Yep.
Right.
Right? A lot of people work harder at the house. They'll burn themselves out because they can't have that separation. They don't know when to turn it on, turn it off. Right? And they end up going through burnout. Every day's Groundhog Day.
Yep.
Right? So I know it's one of those interesting conversations. A lot of people want it, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's the best thing for them.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with that, but one thing that I would say, and I think hybrid is the way to go because we're social creatures. We need to be able, and like I work a hybrid role, and I am so productive when I'm at home because I don't have people bothering me or anything like that, but I also work a lot longer. I don't take lunches. I don't do, I start earlier because I don't have to put on makeup, or drive to the office. And so I tend to work a lot longer, which is why I'm more productive. But at the same time, I had to, like during the pandemic, had to set boundaries. So when the day was over, the office doors were closed.
Right.
So I couldn't see the computer anymore.
So are you seeing job descriptions that really talk about the culture of hybrid and what that means when you're working at home? And some guidelines as folks are going through that interview process? Are companies putting that out there?
So I don't know about guidelines, but we're definitely that's a couple of new questions that we're having to ask. We have to share the vaccination policy of the company. We can't ask them if they're vaccinated, but we share that to see if there's a problem. And then the other one is, and this is when we're talking to the clients too, what is your work life? What does your balance look like? Are you fully remote? Are you fully in office? And I'll tell you something else that's happening. The companies that are requiring their candidates or their employees to come in, either the pre-existing employees or new employees, they're saying no. And candidates that I'm working with, if it's a 100% in office, they're like, don't submit me to that. And they have choices right now.
Well, that's the thing, choice. It's about options and being able to have the choice and the freedom to choose. And I think that the pendulum has swung, in a positive way for the employees.
Correct.
Whereas pre-COVID, it was, hey, take it or leave it. All right, this is what we got, take it or leave it, not a whole lot of flexibility. Now, are we seeing companies negotiating, right? Because are we seeing a lot of that?
Oh, yeah. And I will tell you, we are seeing multiple offers right now.
Boom.
And if...
Cash flow.
Cash flow.
That's what I'm talking about.
If companies aren't moving quickly, that tells the candidate a lot about their internal processes, that they can't get their stuff together to move the process along. So if they're not moving the process along quickly, and if they're not coming forward with a strong offer, the days of you trying to lowball a candidate, they're over. They're over. Because you lowball that candidate, they're not even going to entertain your next offer because they've got 2 other companies that are giving them good offers. So you definitely, as a company, you want to come forward with that strong offer first, and you're going to have to be flexible. You're going to have to flex on some points you may not have before. I want to work 3 days from home, and I'm going to work from 7 to 4. You can't say, no, we only work 8 to 5. And you're going to be in the office.
Yeah, you better come correct. These companies, you better come correct. I like that. That's amazing. I think it's long overdue. Long overdue because these companies have been, they've been just like take it or leave it, and they treat people wrong. Corporate America treats people wrong. All right, so you were talking earlier about productivity, okay? And you actually have a new planner, right?
I do.
Helps with that, right?
Yep.
Awaken Your Potential. And so this is the male version, and I think there's also...
I've got the female.
You got the female version there. So there's 2 versions. Tell us about, first of all, why you created this.
Okay.
And then what can we expect from this? How can we use this to increase our productivity?
So it's not just about productivity. This is really a holistic, I like to call it a workbook.
Okay.
Rather than just a journal or a planner, because it is both. But let's back up a little bit. So those who know me know that I'm a huge bookworm.
Yep.
And I'm also a journal junkie. So I love to read, and I love to listen to podcasts, and I love to learn. I'm just a consummate student. And, most of my sentences will start with, I just read a podcast, or I just read a book,
That is you, yeah.
I know, right?
You're like, hey, there's this book you should...
Have you read it?
Yeah, and I'm like, nope.
I was thinking earlier, I was like, don't mention books, Casey, because I was thinking 3 or 4 while you 2 were talking earlier about give and get. Have you read The Go-Giver?
Yes.
See how it goes?
Yep.
Yeah.
So I love that. I love that. And that's such my philosophy too. But let's back up to about 4 or 5 years ago.
Okay.
And I read a book that I feel like, a couple of books, but one in particular that I feel like changed my life. And I know I've talked about this 100 times, but it was The Miracle Morning by Elrod. And it really talks about setting your day up for success and what that looks like. And he calls it the savers, and I'm not going to go into it. You get to go read the book because it's really good. And then I was a huge procrastinator. And so I read the 5-second rule by Mel Robbins.
Okay.
You know that one too? Yeah,
I haven't
very
read
good.
the book, but I know the 5-second rule.
Yes.
I want her on this show. So real quick, if anybody out there in the universe knows her, right
Me
here.
too. I'm actually circling her. I met somebody that just interviewed her.
Me too.
Who?
Who?
You met somebody that just interviewed Mel Robbins?
No, I didn't meet anybody that interviewed her.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're making an introduction.
Well,
so
let's do it.
Better be nice to me, Trevor.
Okay, shoot. Let's get Mel on the show. All right,
Get Mel on the show. Okay, so anyway, so I read those 2 books kind of close together. And so the Morning Miracle gave me some framework for the mornings, but the 5-second rule helped me to quit hitting my alarm button.
Got it.
So I could get out of bed so I could have that extra time in the morning.
Yep.
Okay, so I read another book, and I read another book, and I read another book. And I kept including all these different strategies. I'd try some on, some I didn't like, I'd get rid of them, some I did like, and I ended up, because I was journaling about every area of my life, right? Because it's different, finance, you're meal planning, you're doing whatever. I was carrying around 4 or 5 journals. I literally had to have a wheeled cart to get to the office because it was too much. And I was sitting there thinking one day, and I was like, there's got to be a journal out there with everything. There's got to be more people like me out there, right? It's got to be.
You're unique, but okay. you're the only Casey Hasten.
Okay,
Let's put it that way.
Okay, but there's got to be people that are like-minded.
In a good way.
In a good way.
You're amazing. We love
you. Well, I love you guys too. So anyway, I went out to the marketplace and I was looking for this journal that I wanted, and I couldn't find it. It wasn't out there, and I was like, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna design it. And so this has been a labor of love, a passion project. This workbook is everything that I have learned by going through coaching school, by doing just reading, by just everything I've done in life. And I've really distilled it down into this one workbook. And it is a lot. It is not for the faint of heart. I will tell you that for sure. It's going to overwhelm those, especially if it's your first journal.
I got a lot of tabs in here. So in here, I'm just going to point some out. I got mindset. Hold up. Got that. Got affirmations. Got it. Efficiency. Goals. Productivity. Finance. I mean, this thing is deep, y'all. I love it. This thing has got it all. All these tabs. I love it.
It's 404 pages per quarter.
Well, she sent one to me, and I spent some time looking at it. And one thing I like about it is that it's tactical, but it's also strategic at the same time. So you can sit down, you can think about what you want to do long term, and then you can, what I call, activate it. You can go put it in place, and then you can measure it over time, how I'm doing. So, really good way to kind of put it all together.
Yeah.
Congratulations on the book.
Thank you so much. I'm very, I don't want to say proud, but I do feel like, sometimes I'm sure you guys have had a project. Trevor, you've done Who You Know, but it's like you can't keep it inside. Right? It's like it just is being pulled or yanked out of you. And that's how this was every step of the way. And I feel like this is my legacy. And the reason it's called Awaken is because I feel like for so long, I was doing life, but I wasn't living life. I was just plodding through, get up, wake up, like you said earlier, Groundhog Day. And when I really started to explore the potentiality that's out there, especially, like I said, coaching school, oh my gosh, that was the biggest transformation. I think everybody should be required to go to coaching school, whether you coach or not. But learning to live a choice and at how I view my own reality was huge. And I want to help everybody awaken to this potential, because you can live a fantastic life. It doesn't matter what your circumstances are right now. It can be fantastic.
Well, I love this, and I love the title, Awaken Your Potential. I think that there are, that's what coaches do. They help people realize the potential within themselves. I've had several people do it to me in my life where they see something that I didn't see.
Yep.
Right, and they activate it. They awaken my potential, and so I love the title of it. Let's talk about your potential, because you said something. You said this is going to be your legacy. I'm going to tell you right now, this is not your legacy. It's not your legacy. Your legacy is much bigger than this.
Okay. I don't disagree with that.
This is amazing. This is part of it.
It is part of it.
You turned yourself into an asset, right?
Yep.
This is going to open doors for you. This is going to put you on stages. This is going to open opportunities for you that are going to set up your legacy. This is going to be part of it. But your potential it far surpasses just this. Like, you've got some big things. So I want to talk about some of your goals for 2022, right? Because you shared some of it with me.
Yeah. So, and I want to tell you real quick, you're absolutely right. Everybody's questioned me on the title about why the colon.
The colon. Okay. Yeah. All right.
Awaken.
I didn't notice that. Tell me about it.
Awaken your potential. And I you know me, I fly by the seat of my pants. I have no idea what I'm doing until I do it. So I didn't know when I put that colon in there that it did have a purpose. And I was doing some meditation one day and just really opening my mind, because I feel like you've got to get to that calm place in order to figure things out, right? And when I finished my meditation, I was like, it's a series. That's why. That colon was always meant to be there.
So when I read Awaken, I read it as a command.
Oh.
Awaken your potential.
I like that too.
Yeah, so it's active.
Yeah, this is the start.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. This is the beginning of your legacy, like you said. This is the beginning. It's awaken. You're awake. Okay.
I'm awakening too.
Yeah.
Every single day.
But your potential is just like, it's just getting started, and this is part of it. So I love it. I think it's amazing. Okay, so goals for 2022. What are some things that you are setting out for this year? What are you going to do?
So I don't just put that stuff in there. So there's mind mapping, there's brainstorming and all that to help you get to your goals. And I do the same exercises I'm asking everybody else to do. And it really comes down to several, right? Both professional, because I'm still recruiting and stuff like that. But the big three that came for me personally are, number one, I've got to promote the journal this year. And I'm doing that right now. I'm getting on podcasts, I'm getting in front of people, sharing it, getting people to share it, all that kind of stuff. Number two, there's going to be a book about it. There has to be. And so it talks with some people that can help me do that. Because even though I'm a coach, you need a coach for everything, right?
Oh, yeah.
You need a book coach if you're going to do that. But then the third thing, and Trevor, I don't know if I shared this with you or not, but you really called me out on that post on LinkedIn.
I did. My bad.
And then
What'd I say?
You're like, what are your goals, Casey?
Yeah. What you gonna do?
And I was like, all right, I'm gonna put this out there. And as soon as I did, the third thing that I put on there was one I was a little nervous about, was that I was gonna do a TEDx talk. Boom! Everything started falling into place for me to get ready. You know, and one thing that I love to say is get your ask in gear.
Get your ask in gear. Woo!
Love that.
Mic drop. Let's go.
So I just...
Well, I want to pick on that for a second. So
okay.
You did the post, and I think it was you were on the news, right? You were getting featured on the news or something, and it was about, goals, and part of it was accountability. And you were saying, as you were speaking on the news, you were talking about, part of it is accountability, having someone to keep you accountable. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to comment. Well, what are your goals? So I can hold you accountable, right? And so I did, and you put it out there.
Yes.
And see, this is what I'm talking about. Closed mouths don't get fed.
Nope.
You opened your mouth. You said, I want to do a TEDx talk. I want to do this. I want to do that, right? And dots are starting to connect, right?
Yeah, for sure they are.
Because you put it out there.
Yeah.
And it's a vulnerable thing. It takes vulnerability to tell somebody, like imagine the first person that said, I want to go to the moon.
Right.
Everybody's like, you're crazy. Or I'm going to fly this plane, and there's never been a plane before, right?
Right.
When you tell people your vision and your dreams, a lot of times it's a place of vulnerability.
Very much.
Right? So, but I want to just commend you for that, and I see it. This is part of your legacy, but it's not your legacy. You got some amazing things. Can't wait to see you on stage.
Well, and I just want to add something to what you just said about putting your ask out there and really getting vulnerable.
Yep.
don't listen to the haters when they show up, because that was one of the things that was really hard when I first started kind of emerging from the cocoon. Was people would be like, "You're so stupid. You think you're smart enough to go on Good Morning Texas?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I do." And then as I started getting more calls and more calls to be on news shows, I was like, I do deserve to be here. And you're jealous.
Yeah.
Haters gon' hate.
Yeah.
You know what? You need more haters, because when you have haters, that means you're doing something right. It means that you're doing something they're not doing.
Yep.
Right? We were talking about this before. There's people want to talk when they're on the sideline, not playing in the game.
Right.
They want to talk because they're mad they're not playing.
Yep.
Right? Listen, if you're not in the game,
yeah.
you don't got nothing to say, right? But you're out here doing things. You got your book or your
journal.
planner, journal. You're going on the news. You're getting on stages. You're doing things. So haters gonna hate. So real quick before we go to a commercial break, I know we wanted to give one of these away. Is that right?
Yeah, and whichever version they want.
Whichever version they want. Okay, cool. So we've had some mic drop moments in here. Let's go to the audience and let's ask a question. First, before I ask my question, I'm going to give some shout outs. So I see Pauline Garrett, I see Paul Haggerty, Jimmy Kim. Oh, Jim, love that comment. He said, screw them haters. So, okay, cool. So the question that I have for the audience, let's see, what's a good question? What did she say that the, is it a semicolon?
It's colon.
Colon, not a semicolon. The colon. What did she say the colon meant on her book? Tell me what that means. And in the chat. So I also see Jason Hopper. Meg Rose says,
Jason, tell Jason I said hey.
Well, you tell Jason.
Hey, Jason.
You just did.
Meg Rose says, me please, mine.
Meg,
Christy,
call me.
Christy says, Bruce, your book is incredible, by the way. So we're going to talk about Bruce's book here in just a second. So I got my first answer that I see here coming back. Lena Stutz says it's a series. Bingo! Yep. Lena Stutz, congratulations!
Woo! Which version?
All right, so Lena Stutz, do you want the black Awaken Your Potential or go ahead there to the other one, the Awaken Your Potential with the heart, beautiful. Can you explain that cover?
I can. It's the heart and the mind connection.
Okay.
It's really connecting those two. It's a very important part of awakening. And I do want to share that all of the graphics in here were carefully curated. We hired a symbol and color expert. And so each of the sections has their own graphic. I'll show you one. This is the one for mindset.
Nice.
And so all the colors were created to help draw you towards your mindset.
Beautiful.
So.
And this one's mine, right? I get to keep this one?
I don't know, Trevor. Yeah, you can
You're going to pry it from
Are you
my
going to
hand.
use it?
Huh? Yeah, of course.
Okay.
I'm actually using right now, shout out to Glenn Lundy, I'm using his Morning 5 planner, but it's, it's awesome because it keeps you on your daily goals.
Right. Yep.
But this is, I can tell you, is next level, right? This is next level. Like, so yeah, I'm excited about it. Of course I'm going to use this.
Okay, as long as you're going to use it.
All right, guys, we got to go to a real quick break, but don't go anywhere.
Bye, everyone.
Because we're going to talk about the power of words when we come back. We've got Bruce Pulver in the house.
Hey guys, come work for the most innovative company in the world, 10X Incubator. We're launching 10,000, listen to me, 10,000 tech companies in 10 years. If you're a coder, what?
We got
programmer,
coders, we got graphic designers, we got copywriters, digital marketers, biz dev.
you name it.
You
If
got
you
skill.
like tech, love tech, want to be in tech, okay? We don't actually require that you get the jab here either. Just so you know, like if you want it, good. If you don't want it, no problem. We are hiring. We want you. If you're good at your job, if you're disciplined, if you want to be paid well, if you want to be taken care of, if you want to be in a 10X environment, click the link below. Give us your resume and a short video, 30-second video. Just tell us who you are. Tell us what you do. We want you. We want you.
Let's go.
We want you.
You know you have something unique to offer your next employer, whether it's your experience or your work ethic or your passion or your personality. But how do you stand out from the crowd when you're stuck sending plain text emails that lack personality, lack humanity, and worst of all, look like every other email in the inbox? Job seekers just like you are discovering how easy it is to put their humanity back into their communication and back into their job search with BombBomb Video. Visit BombBomb.com to start a free trial today and rehumanize your job search.
Hey, Trevor Houston here from the Who You Know Job Networking Show. And if you're currently out of work and maybe feeling a little past your prime and employers aren't necessarily knocking your door down to hire you, I want to tell you about a free training we have called the Career Transition Summit, where it's going to do 3 things. These 3 secret things are going to help you get back to your cash flow. So number 1, it's going to help you to rehumanize the experience of finding a job. It's been dehumanized. We need to put that human element back in. And number 2, we have this special formula that helps you to get noticed and stand out from your competition. And number 3, we have the formula and the systems to help you to get back to work by saying what you need to say in the interview process so you can close the deal and get your bank account full again. And the best news is it's absolutely free. So if that's you and you're feeling like you're a little past your prime, and we know you're not, and you really want to look as good on the outside as you are on the inside, click the link now to gain special access to this free training we have called the Career Transition Summit. It's going to get you back to your cash flow. It's going to help you to get noticed and really get you feeling good about yourself. So click the link now to get started.
Welcome back to the Who You Know Job Networking Show, where what you know is important, but who you know? Who you know can make all the difference in your job search. Let me tell you who I know. I know this guy. He's with me today, Bruce Pulver. And Bruce is a global speaker and healthcare executive who has worked in several corporate leadership positions. His TEDx talk helps individuals and organizations understand the power of words in driving outcomes and results. If I can get a who you know welcome for Bruce. I'm the only one clapping up here. That's all right.
I'll throw a little in there too.
Casey had to take off to go do her show, but I'm super excited, Bruce, that you're here with us today. We're going to talk about words, how impactful they are, and how these job seekers, they need to use the right words to help them get back to their cash flow. So let's talk a little bit about that. Before, when we were on the commercial break, we were diving into a conversation about, we had 17 job landings.
Yeah.
And sometimes, for those that maybe you were the runner-up, right? That could, like, when hearing that could almost feel like a negative. Like, man, when's my time? When's my opportunity?
Right.
What should they do? What should those job seekers do to really help them to reframe their mindset about that?
Yeah. So it's real easy to say, why me?
Why me?
But I talk a lot about why not me.
Okay. Yeah.
So that job didn't come through. So what? That's one. Maybe it's not the first, but you either win that job or you got to learn something from it. You got to take something with you on that to help, just because I truly believe this comes from the inside, the motivation.
I love that. I love what you said, because there's a saying, I'm not sure exactly who said it, but I'd heard it once, and it was, I never lose, I just learn.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So what you're saying is figure out, why.
Yeah.
What was the issue? What was going on?
So here's a follow-up on that, right? Okay, you didn't get the nod you thought you were going to get it.
Right.
In the old days, it was the fat packet, which was the offer and the benefits page.
Yeah.
And it was the thin letter, which was the rejection letter back in the day. So I'm dating myself a little bit.
The pink slip.
Right. So why not make that phone call? Can I get 5 minutes of your time? Because what I really want to understand is what didn't separate me.
Okay. Yep.
Now, because you never know what might happen. That offer might come through, but something may not work out. We were talking about 3 or 4 options, 3 or 4 offer letters that someone else might have. Let's say they said yes to one, but tomorrow they say, "Ooh, I'm going to do the other." That opens that one back up. Stay in contact.
I love that. That's follow-up. Guys, the money's in the follow-up. I was talking to a gentleman today. He's been in job search for a year. And I was talking to him. I'm like, okay, well, what happened to those opportunities you interviewed for 6 months ago? Did they fill the role? Right? You need to go back and follow up with those folks. So what? They told you no 6 months ago?
Yeah.
Follow up anyways. What do you got to lose?
Yeah, absolutely. Treat that as a relationship.
Yeah.
You got to.
Reach out.
Absolutely.
Say, hey, I noticed that opportunity that I applied for 6 months ago that we talked about, it's still hanging out there.
Yep.
Did you not find what you were looking for? Did it not work out? I'm still interested.
Yeah. I really like, and be specific, I really liked when we were talking about this aspect of the job. Boom, it wasn't like you're just, mailing it in.
Yeah.
If it matters.
And you know what that tells that company? It tells them that you're persistent. Right? You're persistent, which is a good quality.
Yeah.
If it's done correctly, there's a difference between good follow-up and being a pest. So don't be a pest. But I like what you're saying, and that, I think that's super important. So, okay.
Yeah.
What about self-talk, right? Because this is all about mindset. How important is, self-talk?
To me, it's everything. It really is, because you're the only person that will ever hear every word you think or say. Period. Ever. So think about that script in your mind. If you had to print it out, it was transcribed and print it out and hand it to someone, would you? And would you sign it? I know for me, maybe not, right? I mean, there's times, right? It's, oh my gosh, I'm not this, right? I call it kick the cants and untie the knots.
Oh,
okay?
hold on. Kick the cants, untie the knots. Oh, I dropped it. Hold on. What? Tell me about that.
We're going to run out of microphones here, right?
Yeah.
So your mind cannot process anything before the word not in the negative. If you play golf, don't hit the ball in the water. Where's it go? If you play tennis, don't double fault. What happens? You're programming your mind to think the way that you don't want it to. It's psychologically proven. Okay?
I feel like you're playing Jedi mind tricks on me now. I'm like...
So untie the knots and kick the can'ts, meaning, I can't this, I'm not good enough, I'm not tall enough, I'm not, and not just job search. I mean, think about it being a parent, thinking about being in a relationship. It fits everywhere. Self-talk is the most important aspect to getting yourself started. So let's say, for example, you're going to do something health-wise, right? And you say, I want to run a 5K. Oh, you've never run a 5K before. What do you think? You're kidding. You're
all
crazy.
the negative,
all that,
right? Yep.
But what if you say, yes, I can? You expect success in challenging activities now. That's one of the words in the book. And then you put the shoes and the socks and the shorts and the hat and the gloves and the top at the end of the bed the night before.
Right. You start to take action.
Right. So, yes, I can.
Yeah.
You have to walk by those and not put them on in order to not do the thing that you want to. So you have to start little programming in your mind.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, well, what about if you, all right, because I've had this for myself. I can be extremely positive and I can be extremely negative. There are times where I've had to reshift my mind when I'm in that negative mindset. What would be some tips or things that you would recommend for somebody to do if they they catch themselves like complaining, being negative, being in like, you ever have one of those days where it's just one of those days?
Oh, God.
Right?
We all do.
How do you overcome that?
Well, sometimes you got to embrace it, right? You got to say sometimes days are going to be negative. I mean, you can't just be this, like my kids call me, Mr. Happy Pants. You can't be that guy all the time, right? So you're going to have days like that. You just got to acknowledge it. Sometimes you got to laugh at it.
There it is. When you said that, when you said acknowledge it, I was like, yep, because I've had that where I'm like, you know what? Today is that day, and I have to laugh. I'm like, bring it on.
Let's load it up today.
Bring it on. Yeah. Like, let's go. And I laugh about it.
Yeah, I got to get us some swagger in. Okay, who's next? Who's going to take a bite out of me next, right?
Wow. Well, okay, so I like that. Embrace it. Bring it on.
Yeah.
Right? Understand, hey, it's just a day. It's a bad day, not a bad life.
It's okay, so there's it doesn't define you. Don't let a bad day define you. Let it, it's going to be there. We all have them, right? And you can't get around it. But if you can just, I don't know, think golden retriever, right? Throw the ball again, I'll go chase it. Just a little bit. And you're mentally, right?
Yeah,
say, look, that's not going to bother me.
Yeah, okay.
As best you can. And you got to start small, right? You got to really start small.
I also like, this is just me, this is something I do. If I'm having a really, really bad day, typically it's because I'm tired. My energy is not there, right? And I know it. It's from the time I wake up, my energy level isn't right. Yeah. And so it starts my day off in this domino effect.
Right.
So I know and I recognize that. And I go, you know what? I need to go to sleep. And even if it's in the middle of the day, like I shut my day down. I'm like, I need rest.
Yeah.
And for me, it works because I wake up more refreshed, and you've had time to that day was over, and we're starting a new day.
Right.
Right.
And it's our words that to me, I'm a word guy. I mean, some folks might see it in a picture or hear it, in some type of music or something. But for me, it's words. And we were talking earlier today about there's really 4 words that we can go through an example on.
Okay.
That you can say, just put these words out. I'm going to say all 4 of them, and then I'll stop.
So let's do the exercise.
Okay.
Right.
All right.
So you were talking about the 4 words, right? Mm-hmm. And so we're going to do it in one way. We're going to do it in a negative.
Yep.
And then the next example, we're going to show it in a positive. And guys, I want you to. He did this to me earlier before the show, and I really want you to think about this because it all has to do with perspective. Okay.
100%.
So, what are those words?
Okay. So the first word is bound.
Bound.
Okay.
Bound. What do you think of, guys, in the chat? Just bound. Okay, go ahead.
I'm bound. Second one is buckle.
Buckle. All right. Next word.
Hold up.
Hold up. Hold up. Hold up.
Hold up.
Hold up.
Okay. Last word.
Last word.
Left.
Left. All right. We'll say that again.
First word is bound.
Bound. Buckle. Hold up.
Left.
Left. All right, so those are the 4 words. Now, give it to us an example of a negative first.
Okay, man, today stinks, man. It's awful. You know what? I'm just bound, man. I can't get out of my own way. I'm just tied up. I just can't seem to shake loose today. It's pretty bad, And every time I step, I feel like I'm just getting kicked in the guts, and I just want to buckle. I just want to cave. Because everyone around me is just holding me up, and I feel like I'm left alone. Okay?
Yeah, did that tell me in the chat, that what he just said seemed pretty negative, right? Seemed pretty negative. And even when he says it with those words, hold up, buckle, bound. Left, bound, they seem like a very, very negative words, but now give us the other example.
Trevor, I'm so glad to see you today, man. I am bound and determined, and I'm bound for glory. It's going to happen. You know what? And I'm going to buckle down and do whatever it takes, because this is the gig I want. This is the job I want. This is the relationship I want. This is the way I want to raise my kids, And I'm so grateful for everybody in this room for just holding me up. The support I'm getting from everyone is amazing. And I'm so grateful that I'm not left alone.
Woo, man.
4 words.
Wow. Do you see the difference, guys, in the chat? Do you see the difference? Like, as he was saying that, like, bound for glory, right? Or bound, like you're being tied up. And I'll be just transparent with you. When you first said the word bound, I couldn't think of a positive way to spin that word.
Yeah.
And when you came out, bound for glory, I was like, wow, there it is. It is all about how you use these words. Okay, let's talk about that. The power of words. You've got your book here.
Yeah.
All right. So above the chatter, our words matter. Above the chatter, our words matter. Talk to us about why you wrote this book and what readers should expect from it.
Okay, first and foremost, I'm with my people. Okay, I've never turned in a letter of resignation, and I've left 3 jobs.
Oh.
So figure out how that works.
Okay, hold on. Say that again.
Never turned in a letter of resignation, and left 3 jobs.
Yeah,
so that was a downsizing, 500 of my best friends and myself one day. It was company being sold, so the sales teams were merged, right?
Yep.
Another was a new investor coming in and restructuring. And so all of those companies started with the letter M. And now mine does. It's called Mine. I always had to realize that ultimately I worked for myself and had to work myself through that. So here's how the book started. One morning after one of those layoffs, I woke up and in my mind was pounding a single word: Bruce, you got to be strong. And there's a backstory. I was brought up in a family that was very grateful and very positive and just had an attitude of gratitude. And for a lot of reasons, it's in the book. But we won't go to that part. But I wrote the word strong vertically. Bruce, you got to be strong. And I looked at it, and seriously, in 30 seconds, I looked at each letter, and I wrote, stand tall, remain optimistic, now go for it. That's what those letters meant.
Nice.
So I had to do that. I had to figure out a way to be strong for my family, myself, and for my future. And that was fine, but the next 3 mornings, the same thing happened. Great, get ready, expect a terrific day. Today will be awesome. A wonderful experience shall overwhelm my expectations.
I got one for you. It's the 7 C's to cash flow. Okay? 7 C's to cash flow. Consistent content creates conversations that convert into careers and cash flow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Woo! Okay. I like it, but okay.
So fast forward 420 consecutive mornings, I woke up with a divine download. Okay? God gave me these words. And I wrote them, and I started sharing them. And I realized that as I was getting messages back, a dear friend of mine who's a surgeon said, Bruce, I needed calm this morning, which is catch a little moment, because I was going to scrub for a surgery on a newborn. And when that came back to me, that my give, if you will, was being received by others and helping them, it had to be something more than just a little scribble journal, or the wordy dad, as my daughters called it. So I took that on as, quite honestly, the job loss was a challenge.
Right.
The writing was an assignment. The turning it into a book became the journey, and then the TED and the speaking, et cetera. So it all came out of actually my need to figure out, how am I going to get myself back on my feet?
How are you going to put food on the table?
Yes.
Get your cash flow going,
That's why I
right?
say I'm with my people here. And if one word encourages someone out here today, we've hit a home run.
I love that. Well, and I appreciate that because, Bruce reached out, and I just love your approach and what you stand for, and you flew here, right? Where'd you come from?
I did. I live in Atlanta.
Atlanta, right? Guys, he came all the way down from Atlanta to come to Dallas, Texas to represent for the Who You Know community, because above the chatter, our words do matter. And what are you saying to yourself? What does your self-talk sound like? When you wake up in the morning, what kind of day is it going to be, right?
Absolutely.
There's something that I do, and I don't do it every day, but I've been doing it a lot more recently for sure. When you wake up first thing in the morning, now, if you say it out loud, it's even better, but you may freak out your spouse. Speak out loud or in your mind, today's going to be a great day. And I mean, that's the absolute first thing I want you to do.
Yep.
Like, your eyes open, and the first thought needs to be, today's going to be a great day. And repeat it. Today's going to be a great day. 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 And do it with a smile on your face. And it's incredible how much just that simple little technique will set up your day for success. And even that smiling in a mirror, right? Like, just smile. It changes the tone of your voice.
Take a pencil and put it in here and grip it for 10 seconds. Absolutely. It's a forced smile. You do it. Take a pencil right there for 10
I think everybody needs a Coke and a smile, right? Everybody needs a Coke and a smile. All right, let's go to the audience. We want to give some of these away. Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, absolutely.
How many do we want to do?
Let's give 3 away.
3 away. Amazing. Guys, see this? Okay, hooking some people up today. All right, so I see Meg Rose. I see Patricia. Good to see you. Pauline Garrett in the house. 7 layoffs in 16 years. Not fun. Pauline, it is not fun, is it? I hear you. I feel you. Okay, but today's going to be a great day. Yes, she just said it.
All right.
Today's going to be a great day. Yes, it is, Pauline. Okay. It's a question we can ask them, something that we've already spoke about today in this conversation. What's something that we can ask the audience?
What should come before what in the dictionary?
What should come before what in the dictionary?
You should look up the letter G.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. Yeah. What should you do before you get?
Bingo.
What should you do before you get? Okay. We talked about it earlier in the segment. What should you do before you get? And whoever we get back the first, oh my goodness, these comments are coming in crazy. All right, so I see, shout out, we got Bill Wallace in the house. Good to see you here, Bill. Bill, we need to have you on the show, by the way. We've said it, and now I'm spoken it, so it's going to happen. Bill, you're coming. Meg Rose, give. All right. So we also got Ann. She says, give before you get. Awesome.
Absolutely.
And congratulations. And my third is Paul Haggerty. Paul,
all right.
Congratulations. So guys, we're going to get you one of these books. You're going to like it. It's all about the power of words, how we can reframe your mindset, because the job search is a mindset game, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. A couple things.
Okay.
I'd like everyone to understand that from my perspective, that we all have unique gifts. So we're not going to be just like the next person. We're going to have our own skills, our own ways of doing things, our own ways of looking at things, our own approach, how we solve problems, how we face things. I call those gifts God-installed features to share.
Woo!
We all have them.
Guys, look, hold up. And check it out.
Mics.
Guys, I want you to do me a big old favor right now. If you could take a screenshot, okay, of Bruce and grab your book, Bruce. Here you go. Grab your book. Take a screenshot of him right now, and I want you to post that thing all over social media. I want you to tag him, tell him something that you learned here from this episode, blow him up, and let him know how important it is and grateful you are that he was here today.
Yeah.
Guys, that's the show. How fast that went?
I don't
so
know.
fast.
Way
Oh my
fast.
gosh. That's the show. It's all about who you know.
Trevor Houston here, and I want to thank you for tuning in to the Who You Know Job Networking Show. We hope you've been inspired, encouraged, educated, and entertained all at the same time. For information on our different events, workshops, partners, or partnership opportunities available, check out whoyouknow.show for more details. And be on the lookout for our new mobile app. You never know how this show could help someone you know? And if we've made an impact or put a smile on your face today, don't forget to hit that share button on your way out. Until next week, it's all about who you know. Bye!
Oh. Faith without works is dead. I don't wanna die so soon. I got moves to make instead. I ain't scared, I'm prepared. Big ideas inside my head. I'm gonna make them manifest. And I'm dressed for success.